Andy's still writing, for God's sake.
This is all bullshit. I don't remember this movie that well, but I'm ready.
So I'm done watching movie trailers. They show me too much of the movie, and I'm just sick of it.
Preach it, girl.
And somebody was describing a movie trailer to me. They said there was a new Eddie Murphy movie coming out. He was like, the whole movie's in the trailer. And it's like, this is why I'm going to stop, because you keep showing me the whole movie.
It does
in the trailer, or it's a lie, or you show me things that aren't even in the movie, or you structure your movie to make it look like something it isn't, like the Suicide Squad trailer.
Do you remember the old movie The Family Man with Nicolas Cage?
Yeah.
So that I remember specifically that they tried to paint that movie as a comedy, and it was not. Number one, it was not funny. They showed only the funny moments in the trailer.
Yeah, it's definitely just a drama, but they were like, it's a Nick Cage comedy!
And it was a bad movie.
I am boycotting trailers. The last trailer I saw was The Great Wall, where Matt Damon fights Dragon Men.
Okay.
And that was the last done. I'm done.
What the hell
did that
is
kill
up
it?
with that movie, by the way? Why is Matt Damon in ancient China?
Doesn't matter. I'm in. If you would have told me that premise, I'd show me the trailer. I already would have been in.
They're like, what is the Great Wall protecting China from? And I was like,
they're protecting
the
China
Mongols?
from Matt Damon.
What?
Dragon Men.
The Mongols. That's just... Don't be racist,
No, there's
Brad.
dragon monsters across that wall.
That's racist. You can't say that about the Mongols.
Listen, they did The Last Samurai with Tom Cruise. They got to do The Last Mongol with Matt Damon.
Anyway, we're here to talk about a movie.
I was just about to start.
Andy, we gotta make sure we talk over him.
You've done that quite a few times.
Heck yeah, it's tradition now.
My name is Bradley Jones.
I'm Andrew Moldenhauer.
I'm Andy Hubert.
And this is not a movie review podcast, but a podcast where we try to recall the events of the film that we haven't seen in a very, very long time. This is what we remember about The Ring.
Were there 2 or 3 bad guys in Home Alone? And who was that forgetful fish in Finding Nemo? Join us as we're watching films. See what we remember and what memories we kill. Let's start the show. Here we go. This is what we remember.
All right, so when was the last time you saw this movie?
I saw it in theaters, and I don't know if I ever saw it on DVD after that. Maybe one other time. I maybe seen this movie twice
Okay.
total. They don't show it very often on like TV or anything.
Because it's too scary.
It's too spooky.
It's too scary.
It was got too many spooky now. I'm too scared with all your spooky.
Too many spooks.
I don't want to get scared,
I'm gonna hide in my blanket. You get the spooky movie out of my face.
I've probably seen this movie like within the last
When was this?
5 years.
Was this 2001? Or
Yeah.
2002?
2001 or 2?
early 2000s?
It was the first film that took like a Japanese horror movie and remade it. This was like a giant trend after this film. People were trying to get on the bandwagon. Oh, we can just take Japanese films and remake them as Hollywood movies and
then
make a bunch of money.
Remake them, keep making sequels.
Yep.
Because they did that with The Grudge too.
Yeah, and there was
Yep.
that Kristen Bell movie where it's like about a plane crash or something like that. There was quite a few
Forgetting
films.
Sarah Marshall?
I'm not forgetting Sarah Marshall. I remember that film.
Is that the one you think of?
No, I remember that.
Japanese horror film?
No, I remember that one. No, it's called...
Flight Plan?
It's not called Flight Plan.
Red Eye?
It's about like
Air
a...
Force One?
Soul Plane? Snakes on a plane?
There's only like one scene with the plane like flying in the trailer.
Is it Airplane?
Airplane, yep.
I think it's called... It's got like it's like a 5-word... It's like Surge... Or it's like
I love Surge.
Purge.
The Purge?
It's not Purge. It's something.
Oh,
it's something like Purge or Surge.
The Surge Purge.
The
Scourge.
Forgetting Sarah Marshall in the Surge Purge.
The Verge.
Which happened because we didn't get Surge for a long time. It got purged.
Yeah, we definitely got Purge before we got
There
Surge.
was a Surge Purge.
What are we talking about here?
Oh my gosh. It's about The Ring.
Okay, so I know Naomi Watts is like a news reporter or she's like an investigator.
Yeah, she's like a journalist.
How does this movie open?
This movie, okay, I only really remembered the opening. It opens with 2 high school girls. They're in Catholic school or something like that, and I
Yep.
think they're having a sleepover.
Yeah, in like a cabin or something.
No, I think they're just in one of the girls'
Naomi Watts goes to a cabin later in the movie.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, you're right. I'm jumping ahead.
I kind of don't really understand what happens in the beginning, but I think there's they're having a sleepover. They're studying.
Aren't
or
they
something?
talking about the urban legend of having watched the film?
Yeah, aren't they
7
talking about
days
the
later?
film that they're like, oh, but
Like it happened to me.
yeah, I know somebody that knows somebody that died.
But it
after
was
watching
actually
the
one of
film.
those girls, and that.
So they
girl
already
dies.
watched the movie?
One of them has, but one of them hasn't.
Yes. And so the one that watched it was telling the other girl that she saw it and like got a weird phone call.
Okay.
And maybe the phone does the phone ring?
Yeah, I think they get a call, but it's like
Ringu? Does the phone ringu?
It does ringu a little bit.
it just rings.
Wait, is the ring also about the phone? Oh my gosh! I thought it was just the circle. The ring is also the phone call.
Oh,
I did
The
yeah,
double
that's
meaning
just now.
Just now.
Ring
Oh my.
that phone.
OMG, guys, we cracked it.
Mhm. That's a good point, Brad. I feel like you're the first person to bring this up ever.
I think so too.
Wow, reinventing
Wow.
movies.
I've never heard
Wow.
this before, though, I
Wow.
swear. Okay, so what happens is I think like that day
does
is
the
the
TV
seventh day.
The
Yes.
TV goes like off and on, right? And like spooky things start happening to the house.
The
in the house with
TV
the
turns
kids.
on and it's just static, and the girl turns it off, and she's like making dinner or something like that, and then it turns back on again, and she goes to turn it back off, but then it obviously it starts playing the video where it cuts to a well.
Yep.
Black and white. The girl starts to crawl out of the well, crawls towards the camera.
Do we don't see her come out of the TV yet though, right?
No, that doesn't happen.
That
till
doesn't
the
happen
end
till
of
the
film.
end.
That's like the big.
So then
the
I
big
think her
moment.
friend like comes in and finds her body
In the closet.
in the closet, all freaking creepy looking.
Oh yeah, her jaw is like
she like
moved
dies
over.
of fright basically. But and I remember watching the Japanese one. And they didn't they're just kids with their mouths open. They don't
Yeah.
look different at all. Like,
Like this one, she's like
but she
gray
looks really
and, like,
creepy. Yeah,
kinda,
she's
like,
all discolored and her jaw
bruised.
is like way far down, like dislocated.
Oh yeah.
And so and I feel like the girl who finds her is the daughter of the journalist, and so like she
Wait.
tells the mom about it.
No, she only has a son.
She only has a son.
I thought she had a daughter.
Maybe maybe her sister, daughter, or something like that.
Maybe.
Maybe Naomi.
Because I feel like
Watts.
she has a
that's-
connection
like the
to
direct
those first
connection
one of the first girls.
That could
Yeah,
be.
that's what I was missing.
that's why
like,
she
the
starts
connection from the
investigating.
opening to the next part.
Yeah, so the journalist lady hears about it
Naomi
and starts
Watts.
to look into the story of like what this tape is, and yeah, and she like finds a copy, but I don't know where.
How does she find that copy?
I don't know how she finds it, but she knows it's somewhere like at a cabin. She goes to the cabin and watches it there. But I don't know what leads her to that path.
Maybe she like read
Does she,
about
like-
another kid dying. Or
Here's what
something.
I think. Here's what my proposition is. She finds out what that girl was up to 7 days before she died, and she was at the cabin. And then Naomi Watts goes to that same place
and
to see
finds
if
the
she-
tape. Yeah,
and
that
then
they
finds the
watched
tape.
there.
That would be my guess.
That makes sense.
Okay, so she knew that the tape existed beforehand, so she knew about the urban
Yeah,
legend,
because
and then finds out where she was at 7
she
days
finds out
before.
about the urban legend
because her
yeah, figures-
friend still knew about the one who saw her die. Still knew about what happened, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
she knew
so
the
she
story.
interviewed her
Yeah,
then.
yeah, maybe she saw him at the funeral, or
Yeah, I think that
Something
might
like
be
that.
the case too. So she watches the tape and gets the phone call that says, "You got 7 days," and then hangs up.
you got 7 days.
It's like an auto, it's like an auto dialer. Like you have 7 days to
Before
live.
you die.
Would you like to press 1 for more options?
Welcome to movie.
Press
Phone.
2 for Espanol.
It turns into the movie phone booth. She's like stuck on the phone. I'm waiting to try to prevent herself from dying.
There's a waiting music while she's like waiting for that call. Do 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 do.
It's gotta be like a video.
How long could you last?
So the video is filled with a bunch of freaky black and white footage.
Yeah.
I
Of
did,
like
yeah.
a woman like rocking back and
Let's
forth.
get into the nitty gritty of what's in this.
Let's get into it.
Let's
get
dig.
We're gonna dig, guys.
Damn.
So it's a lady combing her hair. I do remember that, and she's
Yep.
facing a mirror.
Yeah.
There's
you're right.
I think there's like a shot of a guy driving a nail into his finger. I think I remember something like that.
That's just a 9 Inch Nails video, Andy. That's
It
not-
does look like a Nine Inch Nails video.
So a guy nails himself.
Dang.
Brr, brr, brr. There's the little girl with the hair.
Or no, there's a finger in a box. I think that's what it is.
Okay.
A fingernail gets like ripped off or something. Does that happen?
Ugh.
Oh,
Ugh.
that might not even happen.
That,
but
no,
Andy
that is the
freaked
thing
out.
in the movie. I don't know if it's in the video, but that's a thing in the movie.
I can't stand that.
And then obviously the shot of the well.
Mm-hmm.
But nothing happens in the original video with the well.
So,
It's just a
okay,
shot
so
of
you
the well.
watch that video.
You see the whole thing too, right?
I think so.
Mhm.
I think you see it a couple times even.
Uh-huh.
So you watch the whole video, but then the girl in the well, like that just pops up on the TV. What if you don't have TV? What if you don't own a TV?
What if
Like,
you're just
you're one
playing
of
the-
those like nerds who just listens to NPR at home all day and doesn't own a TV?
Yeah, what, she come out a speaker? What if you don't own a TV? What does she do?
So if you're saying you just listen to it, then you might be okay.
Well, then you wouldn't have watched the movie to begin with.
I have a friend from high school who her parents didn't have a TV. Well, they had a TV, just not in the living room. Anytime someone wanted to watch TV, they would roll the TV out from the closet. I was like, well, what if someone didn't have a TV though? How would the Ring character?
What if you looked away for a second and missed part of the video? Would you still be on the hook
Yeah,
for
like
having
you have to
watched
watch
the
a
whole
certain
thing?
percentage.
What if
for it to
someone knocked
count?
on the door and got your attention? You were just.
What if like she came out of the TV and was just like, you didn't watch the whole video? Like,
Go back and rewind it.
can you rewatch the video so I can kill
What if
you?
you just got like halfway through and you're like, this is boring, and then just turn it off? Like,
What are the rules?
What?
There is one rule because they make a copy of the VHS tape,
Yes, they do.
and the
Oh, yeah, because her boyfriend or something is like a video editor at the
news station,
place that she works
he
at.
he makes a duplicate.
Yeah.
and that one does not kill you. You can
Ooh.
watch that one as many times as you want to.
Really?
Pretty sure.
Okay. Can you just
pretty sure.
smash the original then, and no one else will get?
It's probably gonna be like one of those creepy dolls where
Yeah,
you
it'll
break
just,
the
like, come
tape
back
and it just keeps
together.
coming back. Yeah.
Oh.
That'll be my guess.
They may not even address that though.
So I feel like Naomi Watts doesn't watch the video.
She does watch.
She
No,
definitely
wait. I feel like she doesn't watch it at the beginning. She holds off for a long time.
The only reason I think that is correct because I know her kid watches the whole
Her
thing,
kid does. She
And-
walks into the room and her kid is watching it.
and that makes her on the hook to try to figure out to solve the problem in the 7 days before her kid
Right.
dies.
That's exactly what I was getting
Okay,
at. Yeah.
okay. I can buy that. So they like so after they make the
Where's
copy,
the husband? Is the husband in the situation? Are they? Is it the ex-husband?
This is
working
modern
at the
times,
news?
man.
this is the
There's no-
2000s.
Is he in the picture?
It's artificial insemination, or he's dead. I don't know. I don't think he's around anymore.
She's a strong, independent woman, Brad. She don't need no man.
Speaking of which, her apartment I remember being real sweet.
Hell
Yeah.
Like
She
a
does-
sweet
yeah.
It's
loft apartment.
It's a dope apartment.
It is dope. I mean, I would want to live there, other than the thing falling out of the TV.
Yeah, that was a bummer.
Is it take place in New York or a city like
I
New
think
York?
it's West Coast. Like I thought it was Pacific Northwest.
Like, oh yeah, that would make sense with the where she travels and like where the lighthouse is at the end, and
Yeah,
Mm.
it's got to be somewhere where you can get on a boat.
She takes a boat somewhere.
ferry, yeah.
A ferry somewhere.
Yeah,
Oh, that's right. Because like a horse falls off the
yeah. The
ferry
this
and gets chopped up in the propellers. And I remember being like, "Why is that in this?"
Is that in the original?
just to spook you up.
Yeah, the horse just like flips out on the ferry, just jumps in and gets diced up, and everyone's like, "Oh!"
I feel like that horse committed suicide.
It did.
It could be.
There was something spooky about them going to the island where they like the. So Naomi Watts watches the tape, and there are like landmarks
Yeah.
or something that leads her to believe she knows where the tape may have been filmed, or some of the locations in the film are. So
Okay.
she goes on her own like investigation thing to try to figure out the source of the tape. 'Cause maybe that has the answer, and then she can save her kid.
So that's what the whole movie is about, is the source of this tape.
After her kid watches it, yeah. Up until
Okay.
that point. It's the mystery, and then it's the kid watching it, the phone call, Naomi Watts.
Trying to figure out how to stop it.
Yep, or yeah, just maybe how to
Yeah.
stop it, or how to break the curse.
how to resolve it.
But she doesn't. There's a false ending in the film where you think that she did solve the curse. I think she meets the little girl, or she like returns
She returns something
to the well.
To the well, yeah, like
A doll or something like that?
either that or she like brings it, or she gets like the body recovered, because I think the idea is that this
Oh.
girl like drowned in the well or like was
Her
murdered.
mom killed
her
her.
mom killed her by throwing her in the well and sealing her in there, and so Naomi Watts like finally gets the body like recovered from the well and is like, see, now everyone knows that you were killed here, no need to keep killing people because you're mad, and then she keeps killing people because she's mad.
Yeah, it just happens again anyway, and she crawls out of the television in one of
And it
like,
was
the most
fucking
iconic
freaky.
horror 2000 horror scenes of all
Man,
time.
I remember when I watched this first time, I was like about to poop my pants. I was
Yeah.
like,
It is scary.
This is
It was
our
scary.
This is our Exorcist. This is our generation's Exorcist film. With that particular scene.
Especially when you see that she can like lurch forward all of a sudden, just like
Yeah.
jump forward. Like, I remember because her boyfriend watches the tape at one point.
Yes.
Yeah, he's watching the duplicate. I don't know if he ever watches the original. Maybe he does.
But he does get attacked.
He does. Yep.
He does. He's the one that gets attacked, so he must have seen the tape.
Yes, because I remember specifically he's like watching it as she's crawling out. He's like drinking coffee.
He probably
or
watched it
something
before
like
he
that.
made the copy. Like,
So maybe he thinks it's safe. Or
And this
at that
scene
point,
also
maybe?
happens in the Japanese version too.
Okay.
And that girl does lurch forward, like jump at him.
yeah.
I don't remember if he dies or anything.
I think either the little kid dies or that guy dies. But
Yeah.
there is something.
I feel like
One
it's
of the main
probably the
characters.
guy.
One of
Yeah,
the
my
main
guess would be the
characters
dude. Yeah.
And then I think it just ends with that cliffhanger that, like, oh, nope, things are still terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
But there's a sequel and there's a trequel.
A trequel.
Does the sequel also have Naomi Watts?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So she survives the first one.
Well, of course there would probably be a sequel because I'm assuming they were
made a
expecting the
ton of
movie
money.
would do really
Yeah.
well. And
This was like one of those kind of Blair Witch style films where they produced a horror film for
Yeah.
low budget and made like a buttload.
Directed
of cash.
by Gore Verbinski, and it was produced by the lightning bolt hitting the tree company.
Oh.
There's like one guy that
Zeus?
this
No.
famous like producer who will be the Pirates of the Caribbean films.
Oh,
Bruckheimer.
yeah.
This is the
Jerry
Jerry
Bruckheimer,
Bruckheimer film.
yeah.
I wrote Joel Schumacher in my notes, and I knew that was wrong. I underlined it. But Jerry Bruckheimer and Joel Schumacher, those are close.
Yeah,
those
yeah,
are close.
Yeah, yeah.
But that like catapulted him out there, and like Pirates of the Caribbean films like doubled down. A lot of like Michael Bay films, I think, Bruckheimer films.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Bruckheimer was making stuff even in like
He's also got some
Bad
major
Boys.
TV franchises
the early
too.
90s and
So,
stuff. Yeah.
But man, did he cash in with this film?
Oh yeah.
He's always been cashing in, making it rain. I will say the Japanese version, I think I remember the ending is that someone falls down the well, actually.
Ooh.
Because, like, I remember she, like, lights a lighter or something like that.
Maybe
when she's
because
down
I'm
in the
wondering if
well.
this one, if Naomi Watts goes down into the well, because they have to.
She
they
does
find
go
the
in down.
body.
She does go into
But
the well.
because the fingernail part is that she discovers like fingernails in the wall of the well because the girl was trying to climb her way out and like broke
So,
her fingernails.
that's what was I just-
that's the broken fingernail scene.
Okay, so was I just wrong? Does Naomi Watts fall down the well, or does
She
she
goes
actually
in
just
there.
go
She
down
goes
the
into
well?
the well. I don't know if she falls.
She
I don't
ma-
think she falls in.
Maybe she does fall in, but she like doesn't. She like makes a rope ladder or ties a rope, and then but like it breaks, and then she falls in.
Oh, maybe.
Okay.
That'll be my guess is what happened, just for suspenseful.
Because I remember being creeped out when she finds like the fingernails in the wall that had like ripped out of her fingers.
Yeah.
Doesn't she interact with the little girl in the well? And what's the little girl's name? I know that's like an iconic thing. Like it starts with an S.
Sarah?
Sorensen.
Samsonite. I was way off.
Sanka instant coffee. It's something like that.
I think it's Senka Instant Coffee.
Yeah, I think that's
That's good.
it.
Sounds good to me.
A lot of movie production tie-ins. And did they have a conversation?
I feel like it was maybe a one-sided conversation. It was probably just Naomi Watts doing a monologue about to this girl, basically.
Yeah, like stop being mad. I know you're the truth about what happened to you.
Oh, that was a solid Naomi Watts impression.
Thank you.
Is she in the room? Did we get Naomi Watts to chime into this podcast?
See, Naomi. Thanks
Is
for
she
coming
on-
by.
Thanks for Naomi on Skype. We'll talk to you later. That was Naomi Watts. See her in the Twin Peaks TV show, probably. Probably, right?
Probably. I feel like that's how they should always do like clips on talk shows now.
I mean, you're probably going to be in that, right, Naomi
one
Watts?
thing he's probably
When you're
in.
probably in that thing, how are you going to play this part? Well, that's a totally different actor that's playing that part.
So, are you going to watch The Ring 2
Called Rings? Oh, wait,
before
Ring
seeing
2?
Rings? Yeah.
Oof.
Ooh.
I don't
Or you-
know.
or-
This movie's too
Do you think
scary.
we should just jump in and watch Rings without having to see Ring 2? Do you think there's enough, like,
Are we going to do
continuity?
a What We Saw?
I kind of want to.
Yeah. I
Alright.
guess.
I mean, I'm going to see
Okay.
Rings regardless. If
Yeah,
we
we should
two
see
don't.
Rings. We could do what we saw in Rings.
I feel like we have to watch Ring 2.
Let's do it.
Just to, like, get acclimated with what may happen
We need
in
to
Rings.
be fully updated. I don't think there's going to be like the new Bourne movie where Matt Damon does like a 10-minute clip summarizing all the previous Bourne films so you can see the new one.
20 minutes later, I got the name of the movie. Pulse. It's called Pulse. Whoa.
Okay.
It just I needed that long to think of the title of the Kristen Bell movie.
Pulse, and it's based on a Japanese.
It's based on a Japanese thing.
All right. That's like the Laura Flynn Boyle poll that I did.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that was quite delayed though.
that's okay. As long as you got
I'm
it.
editing. I'll put this part at the beginning of the podcast, and that way it'll.
And then
look
leave
like
what I said at the end of the podcast about you
Right.
getting it right away. Yeah, I can honestly say I don't remember what else happens in this movie.
Let's think for a second. First of all, I like to mention that The Grudge exists, just because it does.
Uh-huh.
And that was.
I have no idea what that is, but
That's
I think
another one of
it's
those-
Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Grudge, the original.
Yeah, that's one of the ones that we like the Japanese remakes that we tried to.
It's another like girl has hair,
Knows our
hair
face
in her
and-
face or something.
Like
or-
a hand comes out of her back of her head or some crazy
Ooh.
nutso thing.
And she's holding a grudge against someone?
Yeah, it's like
Women,
the spirit like, dies violently and holds a grudge. I've never seen it, but I know there's also Grudge 2.
Brad, this is a safe place. You can tell us if you've seen it. You don't have to hide it.
This is like 6 Final Destination films.
Yeah.
Maybe even 8.
So Naomi Watts, the boyfriend. Naomi Watts' boss, I think, plays some sort of role in this film where
He's like, gotta get on that deadline.
Get that story
Get
for
that-
me.
and she's like, no, I gotta figure out this other thing. He's like, I want that other thing first, Naomi Watts.
Mm-hmm.
Is he chomping like a cigar? while
Yes.
he's
He's
there,
bald and he's got
like, wearing
glasses.
suspenders?
Yeah, he's rocking a skullet.
He's like Mr. Jameson in Spider-Man.
Yeah, I was gonna say Jonah Jameson.
Yeah. It's the same actor. Or
I
it's,
hope so.
J.K. Simmons.
or it's
That'd be awesome. I
It's
love
either J.K. Simmons or F. Murray Abraham. One of
It
the
has
other.
to be someone without a full first name. It's just a letter.
And the guy is like a video camera guy. What is going on really in this film?
I don't
think we're just talking
know.
about it forever.
I feel like, okay, there's gotta be, I'm just gonna start going out on a limb here.
There's one moment. I remember one of my friends, he's a video editor, and one of the things that he commented on was something about like the time code not being correct in the actual filming of the VHS tape, and that being like the scariest thing about the movie. It was like, oh, that time code can't exist. It's like, well, that's the big deal. That's why it's so spooky.
Did he go, woo?
Wait, this was shot on a VHS tape, but only a beta camera could have done that. It's like the kind of thing.
That is so silly.
Yeah, it's a silly thing, but it's...
It'll kill you too, you know.
Mm-hmm. Is she a news reporter or just a journalist?
I think she's just a journalist, but why would a newspaper have like a tape editor guy?
That's true. I feel like she works for the New York Times. I'm just gonna say, she works for the New York Times.
Even though we've kind of
We
all agreed
established
it
that this takes place on the
Coast.
West
No.
Coast.
We've all sort
Nope.
of agreed to that.
Nope, I'm gonna say she goes out to Maine. That's where the lighthouse is, where the ferry is.
The Spain and Maine finds mainly on the plains.
This movie takes place in Canada.
Oh yeah, lighthouse, ferry. He's probably a creepy dock worker that she like has to interact with. Like no one's gone to that island in 30
I'm
years.
sure she gets like
You barely
warned
see his
off
face.
about going
He's,
there. Like,
he's only in like shadow.
let me tell you about the troubled family that owned that farm.
But I'm gonna tell you about the old Trouble family. What is this character?
Does this really
He is
take
over
place
the
in it?
top.
Yeah, it's like this the South now.
Yeah, because Naomi Watts gets those clues. She's like a Batman trying to solve the riddle of the videotape,
Of the
right?
Riddler.
Like she's basically she's trying to like make sense of the sequence of pictures in the video, and so she like
Who
she
were these
tracks down
people?
each
Who
thing.
made the tape? Where was it
What's the symbolism?
constructed? Who's calling you on the phone?
I don't know.
That's just a courtesy call. You know, that's
It is
like
a courtesy
service.
call, basically. It's like
Turn down for what service?
So I mean,
it's telling you that you have an appointment in 7 days.
so I would ask, does it work through cell phones, or is it just landline phones that it works through?
And how do they know your number? If you're like it's just the closest.
What
phone
if
you
your
are? How
number's
do they know?
unlisted? Can she still call you?
There's something funky going on with electronics in this movie.
Yeah. What if you're on like the do not call list?
Yeah.
Does the boat get affected at all? The lighthouse? Is there something spooky with that lighthouse that happens?
Maybe some.
I don't know. We're so lost in this.
Yeah,
movie.
we are. We're really reaching.
Maybe there's another big scene that we're just not getting a hold of. A lot of stuff in her loft, a lot of stuff at her work, a lot of stuff at that island.
I feel like there's
The boat,
something that
the
happens
cabin.
with like a barn or something like that. over at the when she gets to
I
this
feel like
place?
okay, I feel like when
What was
she
there,
gets
like
there,
another dead horse in a barn?
I feel like no, I
Or
feel
dead
like
animals or
when she
something?
gets there, she talks to like a vet or something who was working in a barn or something. It's like, yeah, it used to be like a horse ranch or something, and now there's no more horses. They all jumped into fairy propellers.
I think this is like a what we remember first. We are so lost in this movie.
I'm really. I was gonna say I'm really excited.
What
to see
are you, Andy?
Yeah, what are you?
Look,
Andy?
it's been a while. Okay, I haven't seen this film in a while. I'm really excited to see it. We're gonna say it. I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna be like, this film was bad.
Are you gonna watch it at night? I ask you
Oh, I should.
before we sign off.
I usually-
I kind of want to watch it at night when spooky time.
If I
Oh,
remember
yeah.
to, I will. But I usually end up forgetting until the day we do this.
Yeah,
I can
I-
watch it.
I usually
like,
watch
as
it
soon as-
at
I
during
feel
the
like-
day.
Okay,
All
I'm gonna
during
say
the
I
day.
feel like this is one we should all watch together.
Oh,
I
okay.
think we
If we got the
should.
time, if we got the time,
I think
the
we can
time.
make
Let's
the time.
find a time.
Because I would want to watch Ring 2 as well. So.
Yeah, I'm with you. I will want to watch Ring
All right,
2
I like
because
it.
we're gonna see Rings, and I need to see them all.
Ring it a ding 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 dong.
Ring it a ding ding dong dong. Do we have to get the rights for that?
Geico, do not let us sue us. We'll promote you on the show. You have car insurance. You have like 7 different commercials.
You can save money with
Don't look at what I'm
Don't
saying.
say it.
Don't say it. Don't give them free advertising.
with
Advertise something else.
put this.
We give 'em
put
free
this in
adverti-
the gap between the two parts.
Oh, now we're gonna advertise for the Gap. Good job, Andy. Join us in part 2. We're gonna watch The Ring. Boom.
Nice.
That was a good out.
In case you can't get enough What Remember and didn't already know, we have bonus Christmas movie episodes up at our Bandcamp site that are free to stream or $1 to download. Find those episodes and our t-shirts available right now at whatremember.com. Thanks!
Welcome back to the In 7 Days You'll Die podcast.
Has it been 7 days? It's been 1 day.
Well, is it 7 days or is it like the
It's a day
8th
since we've seen the movie. It's 7 24-hour cycles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not been a day since you literally just watched the movie like 30 minutes ago. You haven't even got the phone call yet.
Oh boy.
Ring, 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 ring.
Oh god.
Oh, get it? Because The Ring is also the name of the movie. I figured that out in part 1.
It's true.
Remember
you
that?
called
No
it.
one-
You
no one
called
got
it.
So, where to begin? There's a lot of driving around and rain.
A lot of rain.
And
A lot of rain.
green.
There's a lot of green in the
A lot
film.
of moss.
It really fills out the whole film.
I mean, it is Pacific Northwest, so I mean, it's gonna be rainy.
I know, it is New York City.
The movie did take place in Seattle.
I just went out on a limb.
And
You went-
and the limb broke.
Yep, you went
and
way
we
out
went
on that.
tumbling
Way too
down.
far out on that limb.
And
I went way out on a limb, way at the end.
And talking about limbs, there are a lot of shots of what I thought was the Jerry Bruckheimer tree, which was not. He did not produce this.
he was
film.
not involved with this movie.
That was produced by Walter F. Harkins and Laurie McDonald, who produced Gladiator, Catch Me If You Can, Men in Black, and The Island. So,
All right.
I mean,
So I mean, at least I got the island on there for
Right,
like,
that's
a
like a-
good movie.
right. But he did produce the Pirates movies, which is not what we're talking about it. So I failed miserably.
Wow.
But the director directed the Pirates movies.
Yeah, I got that part.
Yeah.
so you were sort of right.
So it was half and half.
So the Naomi Watts' sister asks her to investigate the death of her daughter, which is her niece.
Yes.
Yes.
And she gets the first lead from a bunch of teenagers who are just like smoking cigarettes, and she joins them like, I'm the cool parent.
Yeah, she's
Yeah, she's
totally
like,
I'm the cool lady.
Man,
Sucks
when
on a
I was
cigarette.
in high school, we totally blazed it up, guys.
on
Am
some
I right?
tobacco.
Don't worry, I'm no narc. You can
Yeah.
smoke a cigarette in front of me.
I'm totally with it.
And
kids.
Adam Brody was in that scene.
Yeah.
Young Adam Brody.
He gives some information just about how they were at the cabin, which like we knew as the audience, but she hadn't known yet as a character.
We were pretty close on how the movie starts. Well, you were. I was not.
Right.
I started with like the cabin stuff, but it was like the two girls talking, and the one girl was trying to scare the other with the story of the tape, and
But the
it
other
turns
girl
out
had actually seen
the other girl
tape.
had actually seen it
Yeah.
already.
And there's a lot of possible jump scares that don't happen. She goes into the
Yep.
refrigerator to get a lemonade,
And the door blocks the view of the hallway.
yeah, but then
and
nothing happens.
Closes it, nothing.
and then they get shots of like behind her looking around. There's nothing there.
Yep.
That's the entire movie. It's just full of moments that could be jump scares, and they never ever happen.
Which I actually appreciate. I hate jump scares, but that's because I scare like a baby. So,
So
so less
the,
jump scares.
the little kid in it is practically an adult.
That kid is
I
older
didn't-
than
I forgot
I am.
about
I
that.
feel
He
like in this
literally
movie.
goes to work in one scene.
He has to pack his own lunch. He lays her
Grabs
clothes
his
out
umbrella
for him.
and he goes out.
puts
to
on
work.
he puts on his suit. He's like, I got a rough day full of client meetings. I gotta get out,
And you got to get together, lady. 'Cause we gotta. Someone's got to pay the bills around here.
It only feels that way because he keeps calling her Rachel instead of mom throughout the
true.
entire movie. He calls her mom one time in the entire movie.
Well,
But it
that's
just-
the whole oh, he overcome that, and now everything's good now. That was supposed to be like the moment.
No, but he called her Rachel after he called her mom one time.
Well, then I don't have a solution.
Yeah.
The video editor dude's name's Noah, and they are he is an ex-husband, and that is
Yeah.
their kid.
Yes.
We don't figure that out until like 50 minutes into the film when it's just
Wait.
like an innocuous phone conversation they have.
Wait a second. Is he an ex-husband? I thought they just like slept together.
Oh, maybe,
Maybe they were never
didn't
married.
Yeah, they
but
didn't
it's
specify.
definitely, it's definitely
I don't-
his kid.
So based on the conversation that he has with what's the child's name again?
Aiden.
Aiden. Aiden knows that they got drunk one night and slept together. I'm pretty sure that's what it was said. But I don't think
okay.
they ever were married or anything. It was just like a thing that happened.
Well, because Noah's busy dating the NCIS chick right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Who's
Who's not really like an important
Well,
point in the entire movie.
We'll get to that at like the end of the film if you think that's probably the person that she gives the tape to. So so
that's what I was
I didn't
wondering.
even think about
So
that.
there's this. So we completely disregarded the twist or the second twist of the film. So let me try to explain it, and then let me be wrong. So if you see the tape but make a copy, you can show that copy to somebody else, and then you won't get killed, but that person will.
Yes.
Yeah, like
Unless
transfers
they
it.
show a copy to someone else.
Yeah,
It's like a cycle because they were saying that the little girl what was it?
She
The dad
wants-
was trying to explain
Something about a
it.
cold kept coming up and like passing on.
well, because the
a
idea was that the
disease.
girl wanted everyone to know what had happened, so she was
It's like
full
she-
of rage, but wants everyone to know about this thing. So she's like, "You have to copy it, make more people watch this tape in order to not be dead."
Yeah, it was like she wanted to pass on the suffering to everybody.
Yeah.
And there was one point where the guy where Samara, who was a little girl, her dad was like, all
Not
you
Senka.
Yeah. he was saying something about all you journalists want to take a private story and make it public or something like that. And that line in itself came back at the end with the idea of making a copy of the movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
At the end of the film, they're making a copy, her and her child, to supposedly give it to that girl, I would think.
Yeah.
But
I didn't even gather that.
That was kind of I was like, I wonder if that would be like target number one.
so is that okay? Is Naomi Watts forever good? The kid was still in danger, so the kid's copy was going to go to her.
Right.
And she was going to get killed and the kid was going to be saved?
Yeah, that's why she like took his hand and made him press the play record when they made the copy, because it had to be his copy of the tape.
So that was his copy, but she would still have to show it to someone, right?
Yeah.
So we didn't get to see that part where she was showing it to someone or
Right.
handing off.
Right.
It was,
That's Ring
it was
2, Andy.
slightly implied it was that. And
Wait
Santa's
a second. So does that mean that whoever left that tape at the cabin knew the outcome of it as well? That you had to make a copy
That could
and
be.
show it to someone?
Maybe the guy who did the magic trick knew, and that's why he put it in the rack. He's like,
Oh, wait. So he watched that video and then gave it to those kids, maybe?
maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Or, so here's an interesting thing that could have happened. There's a guy in the cabin who's like doing a magic trick and like trying to impress Naomi Watts or whatever. But I feel like his character could have been connected more to the plot in a way that made everything make more sense.
Yeah, I would have been
Sure.
Like she could have been like the brother of the little girl, and like he like Friday the 13th kind of thing, where it's the mom the whole time killing. It's actually the brother doing the killing, like through her.
But I mean, then you take away the supernatural element because
Yeah, I'm sure they thought of that idea and just went a different way.
I do like the idea of him being more intricate or integral to the plot. Because he was a neat character. They took like a character that was essentially meaningless to the story. He just drives a little bit of narrative. And they like made him a character that I wanted to see more of just because he kept doing this, like the failed magic trick bit.
Yeah. I'm wondering if a lot of this stuff is explored in The Ring too. Because Naomi Watts is in that. So
Yeah, I don't know if I ever saw The Ring 2,
I never
so
saw
I wouldn't
it.
know.
There are a lot of numbers in the film, just in general.
All the time, yeah, in a
I'm
lot
not
of
sure
shots. There's numbers in
what
tons of
intentionally.
these shots.
Yeah. There was a few shots where there were rings and mirrors, and that played a background moment.
Mm-hmm.
Well, every part of it seemed like every part of the actual movie kind of played a moment.
Yeah, she sees a ladder
Right.
in the alley.
Yep.
There is a moment where you get to see water from a boat, and you see that when the horse commits suicide.
Uh-huh. You see, like, the horse's eye, which is, like, the same shot as the one in the video.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You see the what was it, like a Japanese maple tree? You see that in the video, and you see that at the cabin.
Do you ever see a box of fingers? Or something that would, like, connect that
Well,
shot?
you see
we
a
see
nail.
we see the millipede.
Do you ever see a pile of bodies writhing?
No, that was weird. That was a weird moment.
Yeah, and there's, like, maggots, too, wasn't...
Well, the
Maggots turned into the
bodies
bodies
in a
of
pit.
people.
I'm trying to remember if those got connected at all. I guess not.
I'm like curious, Andy. You were looking at the trivia. Did you see who made the actual Ring movie? Was it the same? Was it the director of the movie, or did he send it off to someone else?
It was the guys who made the Blair Witch Project, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Maybe? I mean,
it
It's
certainly
possible.
could be. It felt. I mean, it feels very student filmy and in like avant-garde kind of movie. But
Yeah, but there's moments.
the
that
trivia
are
talks
cool
about
and creepy.
that like way before they really started the actual marketing for this film. They started like distributing copies of just the tape.
They said that they aired
film?
the actual movie on just on
Yeah,
TV
as an ad,
and
but
didn't even
nothing
explain
explained.
what it was from.
Yep. But they were saying that like months before they even started that, they were hiding copies of the tape at like concerts or in like venues with lots of people so that people would find this tape and like watch it.
That is so.
And I was like, what
so
an insane
creepy.
marketing trick, and I love it. Like, that's pretty cool.
Just imagine if you're one of those people that finds that
I'd be like,
video.
what the fuck is this tape? Holy shit.
Yeah.
there were a lot of tropes, like horror tropes in this movie, but I really didn't mind any of them. I kind of thought they were very appropriate
I
for
thought
the
everything
film
in this film
particular.
worked really well.
What horror trope specifically?
Like waking up from a dream, like something
finding
in the
out it
dream
was
like
kinda
affecting
real?
you.
Yeah,
yeah.
The twist ending of like you weren't supposed to do that one thing that happens in a lot of films.
Yeah. When you think everything's resolved.
you think
Yeah.
it's good.
So
but you
yeah,
turn it
basically,
out.
like she brings the body up from the well, Samara's body up from the well.
Yeah, you think
Yeah,
everything's
and then-
okay.
And she's like, oh, I didn't die. It must be because we finally put her to rest.
Yeah, and then the son that's like kind of like clairvoyant, like he talks to her.
Yeah, he gets to have all sorts of conversations with this girl.
Yeah, we never like see him talking to her, but we just like he says that he talks to her. He reveals that she's bad and she should not have been brought up from that well.
I got legitimate chills from that moment in the film when we were watching it together. That's the only time I really was like,
That was a
"Ooh,
cool,
something spooky."
like, yeah, that was a really cool twist.
Yeah.
Like, because we didn't touch on that at all in the first half because none of us remembered it.
You weren't supposed
And yeah, when he's just like, why would you do that? Why the heck would you bring
Yeah,
her back
he
out? And I
likes
was like,
yeah.
he stood up like right away from
he
bed,
was
and
like, are you stupid? And I
Yeah.
was like, oh,
She is evil as all get out.
Oh,
you
man.
effed up, lady.
The other
And Naomi Watts is like information that would have been useful
Right.
to me yesterday.
well, and it's like, and I mean, that kid is more credible than Naomi Watts in this film. So
Yeah.
I'm like, you better listen to him because he's running the whole show.
The other like interesting thing, and I mean maybe this is important or maybe not, but when she does bring up the body from the well, a few scenes later is when she actually crawls out of the well and kills Noah. But like you never see that happen beforehand.
Yeah.
So I don't know if like that is something that does happen
Or
to
they
the
changed.
girl in the very beginning.
Or did she like make it stronger in some way?
Right.
Like it's out in the world.
Like now she can get out of the TVs. Before she was still just scaring people to death with the film. or
yeah,
something.
from the
I mean, I guess the end result's still the same.
Yeah,
but
someone
It's
died.
still the same, but it's just like interesting. It's like
Yeah.
she was brought out of the well, and then you get to actually see her coming out of the well right after.
So the well is in the cabin the whole time. Underneath the
from
cabin
the beginning of the movie. Yeah.
was the well, which would make a connection back to that evil brother.
Right, the
who
guy
I wanted
working
to be
the front
brother
desk
guy.
at the
Like,
cabins.
that would have made that a little bit bigger of a connection, but that doesn't. It's moot at this point.
Right.
But they
built a cabin
on
over
top of the well.
On top of the
I
spot.
gotta say, that's gotta be one drafty cabin. To be on top of a well?
Well, I mean, that's
Oh,
kind of the
come on.
point, because that's when they pull back the thing, like, oh, the floor's rotting out over
Oh,
the
yeah,
well
it's all
because
moisty.
it's like, because yeah, 'cause
Right.
it's no moisture-y. I mean, that cabin itself was apparently made mostly of moss at that point, anyway. But
And if it was the guy that owned the cabin, he could have been throwing bodies in there to feed the girl.
Oh,
So there
man.
could have been a whole other element of coolness to the film had they gone that direction.
We never even understand like the origins of this movie, like how it got made. It has like a specific scene of the mother like literally committing
That's
suicide.
why that guy needs to be integral. He could have been the one that shot the film.
well, see, I think I'm guessing it's like when they go to the hospital, the psychiatric hospital that where the girl was at, and they ask the girl how she made those like X-ray pictures. That they fell out of her file, and when the guy like Noah picks them up when he's like breaking into the place and looking at him, and you were like, how'd they make those pictures? And then like the doctors are literally asking her like, how did you make these pictures? So I think the idea is that she was able to like psychically make this tape.
Okay.
Um,
yeah, because I think she said they were just like in her mind or something. Like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So this is sort of like just a projection of her inner darkness, or something very mystic.
Well, we think that she's trapped up at the barn, which you mentioned in the beginning, but
Yep.
there's a TV, so I guess that was like her only resource, right?
Right.
That was like her only
Connection to the world.
connection to the outside world. But
And so
I
that's
never
why
really
yeah.
understood the relationship of this family. So the dad,
Brian Cox,
Yep.
he never wanted her as a daughter, and he said she wasn't supposed to have her. Where did she come from? Why did the mother kill her?
so
Like, what is this?
the mother had 66 or 60 some miscarriages, and Samara was the one that finally took. But I think that she was just like mentally ill in some way, or
she
just
turned
crazy.
out to be like crazy and like have some sort of
And
psychic
they
power.
tried to help her. All the stuff that was filmed in that psychiatric office, was,
and like her, and like her.
you just give the
negative-
girl a haircut, she'd look way better.
Her negative thoughts were driving the mom and the horses crazy.
Oh.
And so that's like the mom couldn't take it anymore, and like like the one psychiatrist they talked to on the island, or the doctor on the island they were talking to, was saying like the whole island was affected. Like the fish were like terrible that year, and
This is a child that should have never been born.
horses kept killing themselves.
That's why I was wondering. So the cabin was built over the well. Did like the whole town agree to just like
Well,
build
that
on
well
top of
is
this?
in a different
That
town.
well's in the mainland. Yeah, that's like that's after they sent her to the psychiatric hospital. I think she went somewhere else on the mainland, and that's where like the well is. I don't think the well's on the island.
Oh, so she went to that well and
Right, and that's where like I guess they killed her. I mean, it was kind of weird because when they show the murder of the mom like killing her and throwing her in the well, there's like horses in a pasture behind her, so you would think that it's somewhere close to the horse farm on the island, but
Yeah.
it didn't seem that. I don't.
But it was
like,
actually in that park, though. It was in that like national forest,
Yeah.
where that cabin was.
right.
But why did they like? I feel like the town's in on it or something like that. They were just like, we'll just build over this well.
Yeah, I mean the doctor does say like very much like no one was really that interested in what happened to the girl because they were all kind of secretly glad she was gone.
And that landlord guy has to keep the secret. He's
Yeah, he's the secret
he's
keeper.
the guy that's trying to keep everybody out.
Maybe he has a part in the second movie.
That would be
Oh
that would be
man,
great.
I hope so.
If the whole movie is about him, I'm totally on board.
I agree. Like, if he was like the last person to see it, and he understood that, like, if someone else watched the movie,
He's like
he
the
showed it
caretaker
to
of the-
this
of the video.
He showed it to these group of like teenagers. Like, that's an element that's kind of cool.
What if
that they
all the
didn't even
videos
talk
on that
about.
shelf were copies of the tape? And so he's like, no matter what tape you take back
Yeah,
to your cabin.
if I showed this movie in Times Square, is everyone going to be affected by it? and
Ooh,
get
that's a
killed?
good question.
Yeah.
Everyone's phones ring. That'd be a creepy scene.
That'd be a lot of phones
Everybody's
ringing.
phones ringing at the same time.
Have any of us seen The Ring 2 at all?
Nope.
No, but maybe
Maybe
the
all
scene I
these
just
things
made up is-
happen.
Oh man.
Or they're in rings coming up,
Oh yeah.
Oh,
which I mean has a bigger
which we
budget,
will
we'd assume.
see.
I'm excited to see.
God damn
We're
it!
exceeding it.
I'm excited to see rings.
So we missed
You're
out.
easily excitable.
We missed out on Brian Cox being in the film, and
Yeah.
so there's a second tape, I guess. And that second tape has the psychiatric evaluation of Samara.
Yep.
And Naomi Watts finally gets to read that. And we think like Brian Cox is the reason that all these bad things are happening, but he just realizes that he can't escape it anymore. So he electrocutes himself in a bathtub.
In an awesome explosion.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where, like, the tape that she was watching of the psychiatric evaluations gets cut off early, and like at the end of the film they kind of like show you the rest of it, where it was the doctor being like, that's why we're here to help you, like trying to get rid of these negative thoughts, and then the second half is the girl being like, oh, they are not going anywhere because I'm evil.
Yeah, like she knows that she's psychotic.
Yeah, she's like straight up like, no, these people are like, I want to kill everybody.
I will say that like when you see the girl just by herself, she does not seem that scary. When you see her as like the ring,
They definitely
yeah.
like
she is scary.
The makeup isn't like the best.
But I think I remember
on
in the
the Spooky
Japanese
Ghost
version, you never get to see her face when she's like
Yeah, I
at the
don't
psych
think
ward.
so.
Like she's always just like covered with hair. That's so much creepier.
Yeah, not being
Yeah,
I
able
wish
to
they
see
didn't
the
show her
the
face
cousin
at
it's
all because it made her seem more human,
I
which
agree.
is probably what they should have been going
I
for.
think in this film they specifically show you the face because they're trying to make you think like this girl was wronged and her, like with evil parents that couldn't handle her.
Yeah.
And that's like, and then there's the big reveal at the end where it's like, no, she was evil the whole time. Like the parents were right, essentially. And so that they try to get you to sympathize with the girl more. Than in the Japanese one, it's just sort of a mystery like the whole time as to what was up with this girl.
Yeah, I think that the girl looked a lot like the kid too. I don't know if they were the same actor or not, but he definitely has like this. She has the same face, like
As-
as Naomi Watts' kid.
What?
I thought
they
so.
were the same.
They look very
They're
similar.
not, but
During the psychiatric scene, it looks like they aren't, but they look close. They look. I mean,
I
they're
didn't
the
think
same.
so.
They're the same age, same kind of face.
I mean, about the same age, I guess. I wouldn't think they looked
The face looks
similar.
The face looks.
I mean, did you see the length of their hair?
Oh yeah, that was. You're right. That's how you tell if somebody's different or not. We missed out on there being scratched out photos that appear
Yeah,
and video
or-
camera tapes.
Yeah, and their faces are distorted if they
Yeah,
ever take
if you're under the
pictures.
curse of
Yep.
the tape, like you just can't take a photo of yourself. I guess.
When are they going to
Also-
come out with that Snapchat filter?
Yeah.
The Ring Snapchat?
Yeah, the
Maybe
Ring
for this-
Snapchat
the
filter.
remake
Ooh,
thing.
good promotion, yeah.
Ooh,
Let's
you
get on
should
this.
try to claim
I need to
that
call
and
Snapchat.
send it to them.
And we call Snapchat and be like, trademark, guys, you gotta get on this.
Ring face.
There was a pretty heavy-handed scene, like an anti-smoking scene in the movie, where the husband's trying to buy just stuff at a grocery store, and like the clerk's giving him a hard time about buying cigarettes.
She's like, sir, if you get the patch, it will help you quit.
Yeah, but she just literally says, "You're gonna die," and like he's like, "What?"
So maybe that's just like a prolonged death, rather than dying in 7 days. You know?
Yeah,
I mean,
she's like, you're
yeah.
gonna get lung cancer and die.
What about the commentary? So Naomi Watts steps out into the balcony, and they do like a Rear Window homage, where she's looking into different rooms. There's even a guy
And everyone's
with
watching
a cast. Everyone's watching TV.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
did like
What do we think about that
I did like
commentary?
the shot of the guy in the cast with the binoculars.
yep, in
on,
a
like, the
wheelchair.
windowsill, in a wheelchair.
It
yeah.
is literally
It's
a rear
straight
window.
rear window, like obvious. Rear
Was there a
window.
mention of that in the trivia?
Yes, they do mention that in the
Yeah.
trailer. They don't mention the binoculars though, when they're talking about that. But he definitely has binoculars on his windowsill behind him when he's sitting in the wheelchair watching TV.
Yeah, I think like
I'm sure it wasn't a Disturbia reference.
I mean, it could have been a Disturbia,
Disturbia reference because
I mean,
Shia LaBeouf in that wheelchair maybe.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, what if it was a tie-in for the crossover? That maybe that's what Rings is.
Yeah, I think she was
It's gonna
just
be
kind
Shia
of
LaBeouf
like
watching the ring unfold out his window.
she was like looking into other people's lives, obviously, and like each one of them was watching TV, but they're
Right.
There was even
they're
like
all
a,
doing
like a
very normal, casual things when she was like in this moment of being extremely.
well, there was a
worried.
mom doing the same thing she was doing, like escaping her son, and the son was just watching TV.
Yeah,
And
it
it
was
goes
like
up and there's just
watching
like
cartoons.
there's like a single guy, which is maybe supposed to be Noah, like watching TV, and it pans to the rear window guy just for funsies.
Yeah, I don't know exactly like what that had to play. It didn't feel like it really totally played.
Is
into the
television
story.
evil? Is what I'm saying. Is that the message of the movie?
That's what I felt like. That's
what's
what
like.
that.
What's the underlying theme of the film?
That specific scene made me feel like they were like, stop watching TV because you'll watch a tape that'll get you killed. Because every single one she looks at, everyone's watching TV and I
You're
felt like
wasting
the
your
commentary
time.
was
It's stealing your life,
look, there's
Yeah.
more important things like this woman trying to save her
like
life.
your own daughter.
Yes.
In the other room, like pay attention to her.
So I don't know, a lot of very preachy movie.
I don't know if it had like a real like meaning behind it. I just thought it was like an interesting juxtaposition.
Look, they were
she was showing
anti-smoking,
she was show-
anti-TV.
well, she was showing like a really creepy video, and then you like go look at what everyone else is watching, and they're just like he's just watching like Roadrunner, like Bugs Bunny at.
People carrying on with their
TV.
normal lives.
Yeah.
There's a scene where a fly is on the tape, and I remember you like we were watching it, freaking out about it. Oh, it's gonna happen! The fly's gonna come out of the TV.
I totally forgot when we did the first half of this, but when there's like a fly as a part of the video,
Yeah.
and then she pulls like the fly out of the TV.
It's just a very visually well done film.
Yeah.
The shots, and this is what separates this film from a lot of other horror films. It's just shot great. I mean, it's slow and plotting, but you're always like the frame is always perfectly set. The camera's just usually moving and
A
something.
lot of
Yeah.
a lot of camera.
That's what I
motion.
liked the most. Is it was always like
There's a lot of
moving.
wide shots when there needs to be.
And
There were beautiful like quick close-ups, like when she had epiphanies, like twice it would show her pupils dilate.
yeah.
Like it was just like nice moments like that.
Well, yeah, it was a visually interesting movie, and it's funny because there's a lot of things in this film that I think really date it, in like the internet searching and the fact that it's a VHS
Using a
cassette.
library.
Yeah, in the archives and stuff. But at the same time, I don't think, because the movie I think is done so well, it doesn't at all detract from
yeah, it doesn't
the
hinder
film
it
at all.
It just adds
Yeah.
Whereas like a lot of other films, you're like, oof, this just looks old.
to it. Yeah. So let's talk about Naomi Watts making all those copies and not paying for them. She's making
Oh
copies
my
in the
gosh.
TV room. She's making copies at the library. She puts a scrapbook together of information.
They're
and
also
stuff.
extremely destructive in their investigation. Like, she's throwing like books full of old newspapers down
Yeah.
from the
She has
shelves.
no consideration for
Climbing
other
on
people's
all their
things.
books, and I'm like, you're ruining all this stuff. And then, it was just ridiculous. How's anyone supposed to research this after her if she broke everything?
I wonder what that overall bill is, how much money it is.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
All the copies
In
she made.
2002,
Who's she
copies were
sending
not
that
cheap.
to? Is she sending that back to the well? Like, hey, Samara, can you pay for all these
And
copies?
she's somehow printing out copies from a VHS tape. How is that even a thing?
I mean, she was on
I
that like
have no
supercomputer thing. I don't know what the heck that was. So
Yeah, I don't even know where she was.
Was that
lady-
her journalist like office or
that's what
whatever?
I mean.
That wasn't even
I
set up
mentioned
at
the
all.
first half. I'm like, why would a newspaper have this amazing like video equipment setup when they're a newspaper? So I'm like, that's what I was wondering when she goes there. Like, where is this like super video production place that she just goes to? And they're like, oh, here, you can use the super VHS machine Omatic 4000 and print out some stills, and then you can enlarge your frames. And now it's like, where is this?
One of the things that she has a fireplace in her like 30-story apartment.
Yep.
There's no way.
I
There's
don't know
no
much
way.
about apartments, but I feel like that's unlike. I mean, it's a gas fireplace, I guess. So
But it's got to go
Was
up.
it?
The smoke's got to go
she just
somewhere.
like turns it on and the flames
Okay.
pop up. So
So is she on the top floor? Where are those fumes
well,
going?
I mean, you got like gas stoves in apartments and stuff.
Yeah, but
I
they
would
don't
assume
make
they're part of the
smoke.
ventilation system.
Ugh.
Well, a gas fire, like no, there's no actual wood burning, so it's just heat. Really, is all you're getting, and then the exhaust doesn't need a huge thing to get up.
It seems like such an expense to install a fireplace in every
then
single
I think-
apartment in that
yeah,
complex.
they're just showing off her luxury apartment in
Yeah.
Although Noah had the really
Yeah,
the cool
that's the
apartment.
room I thought that was hers, and that was awesome.
Yeah,
The
his
sweet
like
loft.
warehouse, like artsy photography loft thing.
Yeah, he had like a fence in his loft. That
Yeah, he
went
did.
behind the TV.
And you're right, it
Right.
did make me it felt very Wayne's World in that sense. Like, but yeah, I mean, cool apartment.
Last thing I want to touch on are other 2002 horror films.
Ooh.
Ghost Ship.
Oh, God,
man.
that movie's terrible.
That's so bad.
It's such a bad opening too.
28 Days Later.
Oh, I love that movie so much.
Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Nope.
Cabin Fever.
I never saw it, but
I haven't seen it either.
Fear.com.
oh,
I remember
the
that
ads for
movie scaring me, and I like watched a little bit of it, and I was just like, I can't do it.
What's the plot of Fear.com?
I think it's
They go to
similar.
the
I think, yeah, it's like you go to a website and you,
You go
die.
to
It's the same
Fear.com
thing,
and you
just
get
for a
raped.
website. Yeah, if you go, and this is like, like kind of like right as the internet was becoming like a thing in a way, or
Oh.
becoming like a popular thing.
Oh,
But yeah, it's the same thing. Like you go to this website and you watch a video, and then I think you pretty much die after that. Like
And then,
some
like, yeah.
some like sentient thing comes after
I almost
you.
feel like the phone calls are the same even. Like you get a
Is
call
Mark
about it.
Wahlberg in that movie? Fear.com?
There was such an oversaturation of Fear.com-esque movies.
But you're right.
in the
I mean,
early
that
2000s.
one was like the internet age version of this, like where this one, the internet, she just does some searches and stuff. But that one, like it reminds me of like the writers of The Simpsons talk about one of their jokes that aged the worst was when like Lisa goes to some private school and the sign says the name of the school .edu, and it's because any place that had its own website was a big deal because it was the 90s. And like now they're like that doesn't mean anything.
The
Everyone has a
Mothman
website.
Prophecies.
Oh, I never saw that one. I remember the ads for it on TV.
And there was a movie, so a few weeks after The Ring came out, I had just seen it in theaters, and I was like, oh, it's the scariest thing. And like a month or two later, a movie called They came out. It was a Wes Craven film. I remember going into the theaters, wanting to see They. I met some friends who had just come out of that movie, and I was like, oh, is it as good as The Ring? And they're like, no, it's terrible. So we immediately just left the theater.
You didn't even see it?
And I did not see They.
I just looked up fear.com.
What is the
Mark Wahlberg is not in it.
Aw.
And then also,
He's just in the movie
I
Fear.
accidentally just typed fear.com and it said this webpage cannot be displayed.
Wait, type fear.com.com. Fear.com.com.
All right, fear.
Okay, if this is the last podcast you ever hear, you know why.
Yeah, it's because Andy killed us. This fear.com.
Fear.com.com. Is it available? Okay.
Sorry, fear.xyz is not available. I didn't even type that.
Okay, we're going to register a new website, fear.com.com. It'll just link you back to our website.
Yeah, this was like a reroute. All right, so fear.com, it stars Stephen Dorff, who I thought was Mark Wahlberg. A New York City detective investigates mysterious deaths occurring 48 hours after users log onto a site named fear.com.
There it is a bunch of horse baloney.
That's the same plot, basically.
Where were the
48
lawsuits
hours?
at?
They only get 48 hours. They can't
What?
investigate
Okay,
anything
we're,
in 48 hours.
we're making a film 1 minute later after you see a thing. You die.
It's called 1 minute later.
It's 1 minute later. It's just 90 minutes of people coming upon this video after, and there's just piles of bodies in front of the computer.
It has the
What's this video?
But our movie will have the most deaths. It has literally 90 deaths. There's no plot. It's just a computer in a room. And someone comes up like, oh, I need to go to this. Oh, fear.com or
Fear.com.
Yeah, fear.com.
1 minute later.
Oh, would it be 89 deaths because you gotta wait a minute for that first death?
Yeah, and then you got to put in credits too, I guess.
Right, yeah, right.
I'm going to make this movie.
Fear.com.com. Do we know 90 people we can get together?
Yeah.
But you can just reuse the same 5 people. No one's gonna know.
That's
Oh, yeah.
true.
Put them under wigs.
Throw a wig on them and...
So I watched this movie with my buddy Osborne, and at the very end, when Noah was watching the TV as Samara was about to come out of the TV, he just said, what if he just took the TV and put it up against the window and opened the window and she just fell right out?
That's so practical.
Yeah. Would she fall to her death, or would she just come right back?
I don't know.
I mean, she
could,
had the ability
skip
to
time or
yeah,
something.
she flickered through the room. So I'm guessing she'd probably be all right.
But what
But
if
I
she-
love the idea that she's just like, ah! Like,
You get to hear her screaming as she falls down and splats
and
on
she
the
comes
ground.
back up on the elevator.
Or can you sneak around her and you jump in the TV and
Ooh, and then you're like,
hey,
right now.
can't get me,
Can't get it. And she's like, damn it.
Ah!
Oh, all that work for nothing.
Oh, I'd see that movie. Oh, is there anything else we missed?
Just that the guy, her boss wasn't very important at all.
He
was a
was in this film
character.
for 2 seconds.
For 2 seconds, he's like, "Oh, you're fired." She's like, "No, I'm not." It's like, "Okay, you're not fired."
He
And that
was
the
pretty
scene.
serious about firing her,
He
and she was just
was.
like, no.
I thought it was a joking between them at first. And I
No,
like,
he
oh,
was like,
that's-
He,
totally
it sounded
serious.
like, I was like, he comes up and like quotes something from like either an article or an email she'd sent her something, and like it sounded like it was insulting him. So he's like, "Well, you're fired now," and she's like, "Nah," and he's like, "Yeah," and she's like, "Nope," and he's like, "Well, why not?" And he's like, "I've got a good story." And he's like, "All right, fine," walks away.
No, he's like, what's the story? And she's like, get out of here. And he's like, you're right.
Naomi Watts being a big dum-dum and teasing that horse.
Oh
the
my
horse was like
gosh.
freaking out. She kept trying to pet the horse.
Don't pet someone else's
The
horse
horse
in
is
a
freaking-
thing on a
Yeah,
ferry.
You're making it worse.
That's bad news, bears. And
That's a horse of a different color.
That horse went ape shit. Broke open that thing.
No,
Broke some car windows.
you shouldn't be horsing around on a ferry like that. And
And other puns.
but yeah, that horse is
By
like
Andy
flipping
Hubert.
out, and she is just like antagonizing it for it. She's like, "No, don't worry, horse. It's fine." I'd be like, "Okay." As soon as that horse did anything, I'd be like, "All right, fine. I'll leave you alone."
She should have said stop horsing around.
Yeah. Quit hoofing it. Or something. This isn't lucky at all. I don't know. That's all I got.
Seabiscuit.
It's CG.
Which also came out in 2002.
That CG horse crashing and burning against the side of the boat. Was
Oh,
pretty crazy
man.
too.
The CG looked great in this
The
movie.
little fly, the horse, the girl.
There was some good this was early 90s, and the effects,
a lot
like,
of practical stuff.
I think they
Early
kept them
2000s.
subtle enough. Oh, yeah, sorry, man. They kept it subtle enough that I feel like, it worked really well. Like, it's not something that looks really dated now, like some movies from the same time period.
Right. Fantastic movie, though, overall.
Yeah, I really liked it. I did.
It's worth it just for the last 20 minutes of the film. Like, the slow build up and, like, the pacing. And, like, oh, this is kind of boring, but I got legitimate chills
Yeah.
when the ending came.
It really
I
works.
looked up the Ebert and Roper review. Ebert loved it. Roper loved it. Ebert said it was flat out boring.
Wow, boring. Did he watch
Flat out boring. He said it was so slow and boring.
Although we did say that, like, not a lot happens within the 2 hours of the film, but I didn't notice it during. I only noticed it after when we're trying to, like, recount the key points of the film, and we're like, oh, there's, like, 10 things that kind of happen,
Yeah, in
but
a
it
way,
takes 2 hours.
In a way, it wasn't really even like traditional like horror film or
Yeah.
like scary movie. It felt just more
Like
like
a
a
thriller
suspense.
Yeah, more of a
investigation,
thriller than
suspense kind
anything
of
else,
thing.
but yeah.
Naomi Watts keeps like getting trickles of information throughout the movie.
Yeah.
There's an old lady who has like the scoop on the town. Brian
She's
Cox
under
has
the
some
time
info.
deadline, and yeah. I mean,
Yeah, it's like a film noir like horror movie or thriller or something like that.
Yeah, it's definitely a unique film, and I definitely enjoyed revisiting this one.
And everything feels connected. It doesn't seem like there's too many plot holes. There's stuff up for interpretation.
Yep.
But I wouldn't say there's obvious like, oh, that couldn't be because of this.
Yeah, and there is a lot of stuff that's up for interpretation, and I feel like the movie would not be good if they tried to start explaining.
you don't wanna answer
Yes,
it.
yeah, absolutely.
That's why you don't get to see like the guy's face at the end. There's a lot of things that are just left up to ambiguity.
Yeah, like you don't get to see the girl go into the apartment after Naomi Watts leaves.
You don't get
or, like,
you don't get concrete of like who shot the film or why this even exists the way it is or why this curse is even happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if you try to explain too much, you risk it falling apart. And I feel like, keeping it mysterious is what makes it work.
Yeah, and the reason why the movie exists in the first place is like a whole separate movie in itself.
It's probably Ring 2.
Or Rings.
Or Rings.
Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see with those ones, find out if
I
we
feel
learn
like we
more.
should come back and do an episode next year, watch Ring 2.
Well,
Okay.
well,
I don't know.
okay, we'll see.
We'll watch it, separate ourselves from it for a while, and
Yeah.
try to remember it.
Try to remember Ring 2 and Rings is
Or just do what we saw, I guess.
yeah.
Either way.
We're gonna for sure do a ring is what they saw, but the poster's confusing. It's just like a girl's back with a ring on it. I don't even know what that's supposed to mean, really. The poster for Rings.
Oh, for the new one. I was like, I
Yeah.
thought the old one was just that circle.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And like, yeah. I don't know.
We will be releasing a What We Saw episode of Rings next weekend, and guest Brandon Wilson will be joining us for our next regular episode when we try to remember what happened in the movie Just One of the Guys.
Cherry's a girl who wanted to be taken seriously,
I am going to be a reporter.
but her body kept getting in the way.
Pretty girl, you could be a model.
Sometimes I just wish I were a guy.
No, you don't. The male body needs sex at all times. It's a living hell.
So to prove to the men in her life she had a mind, Cherry decided to try life as a guy.
How do I look?
Dashing.
My zipper's open.
That was the dashing part.
What a fox. Dresses like Elvis Costello. Looks like the Karate Kid. I'm gonna get him.
Today's woman has the freedom to be just as sick and perverted as us guys.
She learned their secrets.
I have surprise jock inspections 3 times a week. A word to the wise.
And dated their women.
Yeah, but I got this one rule. I never go out with girls who say bitch.
Now the question is,
What's going on?
Wait, it gets better.
can a girl tell the boy she loves
Terry's such a stallion. Go on, show me hairy chest.
she's not the man he thinks she is?
Wait a minute, are those what I think they are?
Yep, it's one of a kind. My bro.
Just one of the guys.
Just confused.
Of course you're confused. You're wearing my underwear.